Hello peeps. I just had a shower and washed my hair, so it's looking pretty crazy. I'm having my tea. Cheers. And here I have some cake. I have had one piece of cake and now I'm having another piece of cake. Whew. Cake is good. Stress buster. At least right now it is. Sometimes you just need cake. So, I just wanted to talk about how when women stand up for themselves, when women put their foot down, when women ask for something that is the most natural thing for them to have, respect. Okay, respect. And they don't get it, and they stand up and they say, hey, what's going on? They're a BI, hashtag, whatever, blah, blah, not hashtag, you know. I mean, what the F hashtag? I mean, seriously, what is this? I'm sorry to say, I mean, in India, people have no respect for women. They have no respect for women. It's getting worse. I don't feel it's getting better. I mean, I've had a day, let me tell you, dealing with the situation. You go in, you conduct yourself in a professional manner, you expect professionalism in turn, but there is no professionalism. I don't know if I'm the only one struggling with this, but I find everywhere I go, especially where I am, people are so freaking unprofessional and they have no respect for women. It makes everything like a million times harder. I mean, what is going on? I am so sick and tired of this BS, constantly just being talked down to, talked nonsense to, and I have to pretend like I can't pretend because I just can't. But like when I know what I'm saying is correct, you go to a professional institution like a bank, for example, where I went today. I'm speechless. I'm like, I know more than you do, you fucking idiot. But no, they'll make excuses and they'll keep telling you it's this way when it's not, until they've done whatever they need to do and I was right, And it's not about being right. I'm happy to be wrong, If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm happy to learn from you. Tell me what's correct. But when I am right and I'm telling you something, and you're going on making excuses for you're wrong, like making excuses for what you said, it just shocks me. People have so much ego in this country, especially the men. Not just men, actually. Let me say, it's a problem in India. People don't have the humility to say, hey, I apologize. That's my fault. I'm so sorry. I got it wrong. Please accept my apology. They will justify their BS continuously. And you're like, this makes no sense. Like, what are you doing? I know I'm being very vague because, I don't know, I just can't get into the whole thing. But I just needed to express myself about this. Let me hear it. What do you all think? And I have nothing against men, all right? This is not bashing men in any way. But let's face it, it's the way it's been ingrained in men from the time they're born in this country, that they're better than women, that they know more, that just because you're physically stronger doesn't make you better. And have some respect. Where do you think you came from, honestly? And again, I want to say all men are not like this, okay? I've come across plenty of very respectful Indian men. But on the, majority, I find, they have no respect. And everywhere you go, they come too close for comfort. And when you tell them, like this guy opening the door, he's the person opening the door at the bank, all right? So I expect he'll open the door and I'll walk through. Instead, he opened the door and walked into me. He can see me standing there, and I had to back away really fast. And I said, what are you doing? You have to let me through. Then he comes up to me later and says, no, it was because I was trying to explain something to you about... What the... Seriously? Seriously, what? Get away from me. Keep your freaking distance. What is wrong with people here? They will on purpose come close to you. They know very well that they have broken that barrier. And they do it on purpose. And it's fucking disgusting. You know what? I'm not going to try and say F hashtag blah blah bullshit. It is disgusting. It's revolting. Get a freaking grip. Don't disrespect women. Keep your distance. But they don't over here. And a lot of times, and what amazes me sometimes is that people are so afraid to speak up for you. If an injustice is happening to you in front of other people, be it men or women, they just pretend like nothing's happening. Or they look at you like you're crazy. Speak up. Don't be afraid to raise your voice, okay? Be careful, because we have to be careful, right? We have to be careful. But definitely speak up. Until women speak up, until we support each other and men speak up for women who are being harassed or who are being bullied just because of their gender, nothing's going to change. We need to support each other. And I know people are afraid to speak up. I was like that for the longest time because, you have a fear. But don't be afraid. Speak up. Make sure you're in an environment where you're safe to speak up, all right? First of all, situational awareness is important, but speak up. Don't allow people to get in your space, disrespect you, abuse you, and let them get away with it. No. And you're made to feel like you're some sort of crazy bitch for speaking up, for standing your ground, for asking to be treated professionally with respect. And they turn around and look at you or snicker at you like, look at her, fucking psycho. You know what? You want to call me a psycho? Go ahead. I don't give a shit. But don't get in my space. And don't touch me. And don't come near me. And do not undermine me. And it's so sad that if a woman speaks up for herself, she's a psycho. Oh, this one, she's always making a fuss. Hell yeah, I'm making a fuss. Because I am not going to be afraid to say it like it is. And I'm not going to keep it all inside of me and die because I didn't speak up. We need to be more vocal. We need to speak up when injustices are taking place. And I will do this for anybody, not just myself. I will do it for anyone I see being treated wrongly. Why are be so afraid to do that. Understand, okay, self-preservation up to a point. Like if you're in a safe environment and you can speak up for somebody and you can help them, do it. And don't be ashamed, and don't let anyone break your spirit and make you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm crazy. I'm just like blowing up. Sometimes you've got to. Sometimes it's important. I don't know though. I mean, like, what happens? I feel if you can do it calmly, speak up calmly, do it calmly. But at times it's hard to stay calm, When people are blatantly disrespecting you, your space, your intelligence, and to your face, they're bullshitting you. Like you call them out on something. I'll give you an example of what happened today. I went to the bank and I wanted to deal with certain issues with my banking, and I knew what I had put, I knew what was invested, I knew. So I went in there and I said, there are these certain deposits which were not put in properly because the person was supposed to put it so that it was given at the highest percentage. Instead, he put it in a way that gave me less. The bank manager, the guy in charge of the bank, and this is not a small bank, this is an international well-known bank which is shite, and I'm leaving them. He says to me, no, there are no such fixed deposits there. There aren't any. I said, yes, there are. He kept insisting they weren't there when they were. And eventually, he somehow found them, which should be, I can find my own banking in 5 seconds online. He couldn't figure that out. He's the bank manager. But he made it look, he covered it up like as if it was nothing. That was one thing. My God, there were so many things. So many things. I won't get into it. There are too many things. But that was just one example. And amongst so many. And then the work they're supposed to do, they were behaving as if they were doing me a favor. And I was just taking up their time. That I go to the bank maybe once in, 6 months. And I have to sort out things. And they behave as if you're asking them for the sun and the moon. That's their freaking job. That is their job. Anyway, I just had to speak about this because it's so frustrating. And I want this to change. Just because men are physically stronger, that's one thing. And then on top of that, they're taught to disrespect women from the time they open their eyes. No little boy is born like that. Absolutely not. They're taught that. So if you are in charge of bringing up a son, a boy, turn him into a man, not into a weasel, not into this kind of bullshit person who is going to put women down, who's going to touch them when they don't want to be touched, who's going to, it's so important for us to raise them right, and for them to for us to teach them. And for you good men, amazing men out there, I know you're doing it already. Teaching your sons to respect women, to protect women, not to lord it over them just because you're physically stronger. And to have a genuine admiration for who a woman is, what a woman is. Not to put her down and to be threatened by her rising. You should lift her up with your strength, not pull her down. And again, I want to say, I have the greatest respect for every human, regardless of gender, regardless of race, regardless of anything. But when I see these things happening, it's a big problem. It needs to be shifted. It needs to be fixed. And the only way it can be done is by people speaking up and making people aware that it's not okay, that you cannot treat women like this, and that you should do better and you should know better. Or in an institution where I find unprofessionalism, especially here in India. I don't know, maybe that's happening everywhere, but or maybe it's just the bank that I'm banking with or whatever. No, I mean, I'm sorry, I notice it everywhere. Everywhere I go, I notice it. Let's just be honest, okay? Yes, it's a developing country. Yes, I love India. There are amazing things about this country, but this in-between stage, it's hard. It's very hard to deal with this kind of BS. It's infuriating. And have the humility to say, I'm so sorry, ma'am. I have been in service. I served people. I was in Emirates. If I made a mistake, I would say, I'm so sorry, sir, madam, with such respect. Please, let me make up for it. It's my mistake. I apologize. And sometimes if somebody was agitated on a flight, people are agitated for different reasons. My job was to make sure they felt better. My job was to make sure that they left that flight feeling changed. That was my job according to me. And so I expect that where I go. I expect people to do the same because you're being paid to do your job. You're not doing others a favor by doing your freaking job. Do your job. And that's what people don't seem to get over here, I find. Or they're just hiring a very low caliber of person for a job that needs more. For a person who should be trained more, should be educated more, should know more, or should have the qualities innately in them to be able to service others. Because if you're facing a person, you're in the service industry. If you are meeting a person face to face, you first of all need to know how to interact with a human being in a courteous, professional, kind, empathic, intuitive way. To be there to serve, not to trouble them some more, not to give them a headache. You are not doing anyone any favors. Wake up. I don't know if I'm going to post this. I may not. We shall see. But I needed to get it out of my system. I needed to put it out there. But I think it's a very important message. Very, very important message. Just have respect for everyone, regardless of gender as well. And be professional. If you're a professional, be professional. This is not your living room. If you're at a job or you have your own business, this is not your living room. There is a personal life and there's a professional life. In your personal life, do whatever the fuck you want. Talk however you want, be however you want. But when you're a professional, behave professionally. And if you hate it so much, get the fuck out of there. Don't do that job anymore. That's what I feel. The moment I just could not do that job anymore, the moment I was too exhausted to be on a flight, I left the job because it's not the passenger's problem. It is not the person's problem who is coming to you for a professional service, what is going on in your personal life. Just get over it. Do your job. And make a separation between the two. People don't know how to do that. Professionalism is a thing. Keep it going. Don't get so casual with things and in your professional life. Again, I will say it again. That's not your home or your living room. And even if you work from your home or your living room, with your clients, be professional. I work from home, but I am professional with my clients. It's such a simple thing. But people here don't seem to get it. They take it personally. Everything is personal. It is not personal. This is your job. Your job is your job. Your work is your work. Oof. I have to find a solution because I cannot bank with these people. I have tried for years. I've been with them for years. And now I've come to the point where I'm like, no, I cannot continue with them anymore. Sometimes you just have to remove yourself from that situation because you've given it your best shot. You've tried, and it just does not get better. In fact, I feel it's gotten worse. Way worse. Anyway, that's what I had to say today. That was my little rant and rave, and with a message, with a very important message. Yeah, I shall talk to you all again later. See ya.